Banachton, Mish Adrian Kane. Greetings, my name's Adrian Kane and I'm the Manx Language Officer for the Manx Heritage Foundation. I just thought I'd spend a couple of minutes explaining the present state of Manx Gaelic in the Isle of Man. Probably the most important aspect of the recent revival of interest for the language is the establishment of the Bunscoil Gaelgach in St John's. That's at the old St John's School opposite Tynwald Hill. There are 65 children who receive all of their primary education through the medium of Manx Gaelic. Similar to any other primary school, deliver the same syllabus just through the medium of Manx Gaelic. There we're producing some great future Manx speakers years to come, but also hopefully some children who are interested in languages generally. And there are many educational and other benefits of learning through another language. After there's a possibility for some children to learn certain subjects through the medium of Manx Gaelic at QE2. In my previous existence, I was a secondary school teacher, and so I delivered IT through the medium of Manx Gaelic there for a year. Again, that's hopefully to ensure that the children maintain a high level of Manx Gaelic understanding and awareness. There's also the Department of Education's primary team. They go around primary and secondary schools introducing children to the language. And there's roughly 1,000 children in primary schools who learn some Manx. And that is an introduction to the language and hopefully enthuse them to maybe learn more of the language later. At two secondary schools, Ballacameen and QE2, there's properly timetabled Manx Gaelic classes. Here, children's first option would be French or German, but after that they have the opportunity to learn Manx through, hopefully, to GCSE and indeed even A-level standard. And indeed, there are many, or certainly a good cohort of young people coming through the secondary school system who have a really good understanding of the language, and that's very promising. My particular work with the Manx Heritage Foundation is to increase the profile of language, encourage more people to learn it, and also those who are learning it to improve the quality of their language. We've developed new programmes for adults based loosely on what's happening in Wales. And those programmes, I think, are increasingly providing or producing good adult speakers of the language. It's not just that. I hopefully encourage businesses and other organisations to use the language in ways which are appropriate to them. And more and more people are doing just that. And also there's an increase in usage of signage throughout the island, which I think adds to the whole nature of what it means to live in the Isle of Man. So there's three important strands: the Bunscoil Gaelgach, the Department of Education's primary and secondary team, and the work done by the Manx Heritage Foundation. All those have come together to, I think, generate a really successful revival of interest in the language. There are other strands. Munchavegra is a playgroup organisation which runs a network of playgroups, such as at Braddon. Those filter into the primary schools. And of course, recently, with support from the Isle of Man Youth Service, we developed a youth group based in Peel for those children who have received some of their education through Manx, and that encourages them basically to use the language outside of the education system. And indeed, successfully, for the first time this summer, we ran a week just aimed at those particular children, sort of a summer school through the use of Manx language. It's great achievements over the last 10-15 years. It's a success story for the Isle of Man. It's a success story which is of interest to journalists outside of the Isle of Man and to other language communities. It's something that distinguishes us, I think. Not all jurisdictions have been so successful in revival interest in their indigenous languages. For example, people in Jersey and Guernsey are very jealous of the achievements we've made over the last 15-20 years. It's a success story, even if you're not really into the language, you don't particularly want to speak it, you're not really interested in your children learning the language at school. I don't think that really matters because it is a success story, and in these times, success stories for the Isle of Man are something we should be proud of. So it's a success story for the Isle of Man, it's something we should be proud of, and hopefully it'll continue to be a success story in years to come.